So hey there Pubsters, welcome to another episode of Apple Pub. I'm Eman.
And I'm Raphael, and today we'll be covering some news about the upcoming iPhone 6s, the Apple Watch, and much more.
So grab a beer and join us.
So first things first for you Apple Watch users out there, the Apple Watch currently has no activation lock.
Yeah, the passcode you put on it only protects your data from being accessed.
But this means that anyone could effectively steal your watch, wipe it, and connect it to their own iPhone.
Yeah, so until Apple figures out a way to prevent that from happening, just try to be careful with it. What's this? Oh.
There is some good news though for those of you just placing your order for the Apple Watch.
Or you're still waiting for yours to get shipped.
Yeah, Apple just announced that though there were some hiccups, the Apple Watch production lines are back on track.
Yeah, so you should be expecting to see things normalize very soon.
Moving on to the iPhone 6s, there have been a lot of rumors surrounding the upcoming upgrade to the iPhone,
Yeah, as we've said before, it's expected to get Force Touch and 2 gigs of RAM,
as well as an additional microphone near the speaker for improved voice quality.
a rose gold color option, and improved Touch ID recognition.
We've been hearing more and more rumors about the upgraded iPhone coming with a 12 megapixel camera.
Which will actually be the first bump we've seen in megapixels in 4 years.
However, we likely won't be seeing the dual lens tech that Apple acquired because this would require a chassis change in the iPhone.
Yeah, so we're more likely to see it in the iPhone 7.
Yeah, but if you would like to read more about the dual lens tech, check the link down below in the description.
On to other news, the ship times for the 15-inch MacBook Pro have slipped from 1 to 2 weeks to about 2 to 3 weeks.
And usually when this happens, it means that there's an upgrade coming along.
And we're expecting to see an upgrade sometime around WWDC with a Broadwell chipset and Force Touch implementation.
So moving on to some gaming news, Nintendo finally announced that they will be entering the smartphone market.
Yeah, and they'll only be releasing 5 games by the end of next year.
But the reason for that is that Nintendo usually focuses on quality rather than quantity.
Yeah, and their first game is expected to be released later this year.
So moving on to our last bit of news is Apple's music streaming service, which should be launching pretty soon.
Yeah, and it's a pretty good time for music streaming in general because Warner Bros. Recently announced that they had more money come in from streaming than from digital sales for the first time ever.
Yeah, Apple may be a bit late to the game, but they do hope to add a unique experience by adding a social element to the service.
As well as adding human creation versus just relying on computer algorithms to dish out songs it thinks you'll like.
Now, unfortunately, there won't be a freemium tier with the service. Do expect to pay about $9.99.
Yeah, Apple was trying to get it down to $7.99, but it doesn't look like those talks worked out.
Alright then, fellow Pubsters, that's it for today's news roundup.
Yeah, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.
And let us know what you think about Apple's new streaming service. Do you think it's good enough to compete with the likes of Spotify?
And that's it, Pubsters. Thanks for stopping by.
And I'll be taking that now.